You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Jody Miller-Young, and today we're talking with Ashley Bennett of Pupsaver. You're going to learn about a fantastic new product that can ensure the safety of your dog when you're driving in your car. But first, we're going to take a short commercial break, and then we'll come back and learn all about it. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back after a short pause.
Your dog loves going for a walk, but what do you do when the weather just won't cooperate? Your canine companion shouldn't have to come home cold, wet, and uncomfortable. Zippy Dynamics has created a chic, revolutionary, and functional suit that covers your best friend from head to toe. Our apparel is stylish and remarkably protective against all weather.
You and your dog deserve the best, and Zippy Dynamics is here to provide. Visit zippydynamics.com now and receive free shipping on all orders for a limited time. Zippy Dynamics, clothing of a different breed.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Jody Miller-Young, and we're talking today with Ashley Bennett of Pupsaver, the inventors and makers of a unique car safety seat for dogs we love. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, how you doing, Jody? Good to be on.
Doing great. Glad to have you on. You know, Pupsaver, you're welcome. Pupsaver really piqued my interest about a year ago when I discovered your product in a magazine, as you and I have talked about. When I learned more, I was excited to try it. The statistics are frightening as to what happens to an unrestrained dog in a car in a crash. And before we get into what Pupsaver does that's so special, I know this is a bit intense, but fill us in on the real dangers.
Sure. Yeah, it's not pleasant to talk about, but it is important because it just really drives home the point is that a dog, just like a human, any occupant in a car, needs to be restrained. And the real reason for that is that if you're in an accident, even if you're in a hard stop, a heartbreaking event in the car, what can happen is your dog can really fly through that car. I mean, if you just think about sort of like a bowling ball, a 15-pound bowling ball, just hurtling through that car at the moment of impact, or even when you just brake very hard. If your dog's on the front seat, they can fly into the dashboard. That's probably the first thing that's going to happen. They can break bones. They can get really badly hurt. We've heard of internal organ damage, just all kinds of real horror stories just from heartbreaking, which is really surprising for most people. Not to mention that it really endangers the human occupants of the vehicle as well. If that dog were to make contact with you, most likely it's going to be, a very serious injury that could occur with both you and your dog in the vehicle.
Yeah, because I read somewhere that an unrestrained little dog, 10-pound dog in a crash at 50 miles an hour, say, exerts something like 500 pounds of pressure. And an 80-pound dog at 30 miles an hour exerts something like 2,400 pounds of pressure. It's like a missile going through the car, which is just a horror show to think about for the dog and for the people involved.
Exactly. That's exactly what can happen. And the easy way to fix this is just to restrain your dog. I mean, really, it's that easy. Absolutely. Just make sure that they're in something that will keep them on that seat. Yes.
Well, that leads us to what's so special about the Pupsaver and why it's so different from everything else you'll find on the market. Tell us about that.
Sure. And so where we're leaving off with that restraint, that's important. It's important to keep the dog on the seat. It's important to keep them restrained so that they don't become projectile and make contact with other occupants of the vehicle. But the other aspect for safety is really what we call impact protection, where if you think about a rear-facing baby car seat, what that's really doing is that is keeping that movement down. That's keeping, if you think about a harness, if you think about a booster seat, and these other sort of restraint devices, the Pupsaver goes a little bit beyond that. It actually kind of folds around the dog. If you think about a clamshell or a catcher's mitt, because it's rear-facing, and it will actually keep that dog in, a little enclosed area, a very small enclosed area, which is going to optimally provide them with the most safety and the most protection in that heartbreaking or in that impact scenario.
And it's also the only officially crash tested one by the same organization that tests for the what again?
Yes, there was a harness study that was done, and we are tested at the same facility. We're not tested by the Center for Pet Safety is what I think you're referring to. We did our own independent testing at that laboratory. It's called MGA Research Corp, and they're in Virginia. They're in Manassas, Virginia. It's right outside Washington, D.C. And yeah, they actually do infant car seat testing there as well, and that's the test that Pupsaver followed. Our test mirrored what's called the FMV SS213. It's very technical, and that's just the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard. It's basically for child safety seat testing up to 50 pounds. That's the guideline that they follow, and so that was the test that we mirrored with our test at MGA.
Which makes me feel very safe. I mean, we use it for Sophie when we live in New York City, so we don't have a car here, but in Florida, we do. And we use it all the time with Sophie in Florida. And like you said, it is a very sort of protective catcher's mitt type of design. And it's the only car seat we've tried that she loves. She goes in it, she curls up, and she loves it. And she did from day one. So we're big fans. What was the inspiration?
So glad to hear that.
Tell everybody the very cool story about the inspiration for Pupsaver.
Well, the inspiration is what I like to call him my fur brother. He's my dad, lost the opto. His name's Gizmo, and Gizmo is 17 years young, and so he's been with my dad for a long time. He's been his constant lunch companion for a very long time, ever since my dad retired. Right around the time that I went to college, he and Gizmo got really, really tight, and he started taking Gizmo with him everywhere in the car. And so one day they were on their way back from lunch, and somebody pulled out in front of my dad, and he had to slam on his brakes really fast. And so Gizmo was sitting on the front seat because he refuses to sit in the back seat. And right when that happened, he slammed into the dashboard. It was really, really scary. And he didn't have any broken bones. He's a pretty spry fellow, but he was limping and he was hurt. And it just made my dad, keenly aware of what can happen. And even in just, like I said, a heartbreaking scenario, it doesn't even have to be an accident, how dangerous it can really be for a dog that's just sitting up on that front seat. So upon this happening, my dad went home. He actually started doing some research. He bought a couple harnesses that are still in existence out there in the market. Just found that they weren't really the right fit. Gizmo was he was dismayed, to say the least, at having to wear a harness each day. It was a fight. He was biting my dad, when he was trying to get it onto him. So my dad just thought there's got to be a better alternative for this, and something that's still safe, like a harness should be, but that is not as difficult, and that it's really more suited for small dogs. He really found that there was not anything.
Yeah, and your dad, just to tell listeners that your dad has some experience in the automotive industry, so it's not like just some guy off the street. Tell them a little bit about your dad's background.
Sure. My dad is a 40-year auto industry veteran, and he had his own line of tire stores and vehicle maintenance centers in the Atlanta area back in really ever since it was my grandfather's store back in the 50s. So been around for a long time, been around the industry for a long time. And he's also just been an avid safety nut. He's a seatbelt nut. He makes you put your seatbelt on the second you get in the car. Every time I'd leave the house when I was a teenager, it was, wear your seatbelt. I think he probably still says it to me every time I'm running out the door. So this was kind of perfect for him. This is exactly what he was meant to do, was to come up with something safe for the puppy in his life that he could ride around the car with him and be safe.
Very cool. And he worked for a couple of years on, various incarnations of the Pupsaver before he felt it was ready, right?
He did, yes. Let's see, it's probably been since about the year 2007 when he first began prototypes of the Pupsaver. And he worked with auto industry vets. He worked with veterinarians. and he worked with safety design engineers from Georgia Tech Institute of Technology that's here in Atlanta. In this development, yes, they came up with all different kinds of designs, and basically what we have now has been the design for about the last 5 years in different incarnations. And what's the newest feature is the seatbelt safety straps that were added about 2 years ago, and we started crash testing with those safety straps. And so that's what we have today is the crash tested Pupsaver.
Great. I mean, that makes me feel secure too, knowing the kinds of people that were involved in creating the Pupsaver. Tell us exactly who the Pupsaver is made for, because it's not made for every single dog.
Sure. No, it's actually just for dogs right now that are 30 pounds and under. This is something that we're working on. We are trying to work our weight limit up, but as I keep reiterating, crash testing is paramount to us. It is the most important feature of Pupsaver is that it's crash tested and that it passes crash tests with every ounce or every strap or anything, any tether, any change that we make to this product. It has to be crash tested. It has to pass those crash tests in our eyes in order for it to be available for the market.
Absolutely. In terms of the materials that it's made out of that helps to make it so durable, strong in a crash situation, et cetera, tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. The Pupsaver is constructed of what's called ballistic nylon, which if you look at any average suitcase, a really strong nylon suitcase, that's the same exact material. It's very thick. It's very durable, and it also withstands, as you can imagine, you know what they do to your suitcases at the airport. So,
oh my God!
if you can imagine that ballistic nylon is very tough. It holds stitches very well, which was crucial to us because we have to attach to that seatbelt with our safety clips, and so those stitches have to be very strong. We actually use ballistic nylon string as well as the ballistic nylon for the shell to make it very strong and crash test worthy.
Perfect. And let me tell you, I know we're going into some technicals here, but this is very easy to install into your car because if I can do it, anybody can do it. I am not technically inclined. It's very, very easy. And that's right, Ashley, right? I mean, you haven't had experiences with people. Yeah. And you have a cute little video, too. You have a cute little video where you show people about the Pupsaver and how to put it in with that cute little the doggy.
Yeah, we do because it's so helpful to have a visual. And I just feel like that these days when it's so easy to make a video, put it on YouTube, why not have an installation video? In fact, we're probably going to update our installation video very soon. So be looking out for that. It'll be new and improved, and we'll really go through the steps very slowly. But it's one of those things that the first time you do it, it might take a second to have that aha moment where you go, oh, I just pull out the seatbelt, buckle it, and then strap the Pupsaver in. And the second time you do it, it'll take you 3 minutes. I think you've probably seen in all your adventures down in Florida, you can take it in and out of the car pretty easily.
Really, very easily. We are going to take a commercial break right now, but when we come back, wait till you hear about the adorable prints Pupsaver is available in, because after all, this is a fashion show, and the new luxe version that was just released, perfect for holiday giving. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back, right after we kibble a little with our sponsors.
Pet Life Radio, the #1 pet radio network on the planet, joins forces with iHeartRadio to put the power of your pets in your pocket. Awesome! Download the iHeartRadio app and rock Pet Life Radio on your phone, on your tablet, on your Xbox, in your car. Pet talk, pet tunes, and fun pet times. Pet Life Radio and iHeartRadio. Positively Possum.
Dyson. The new Dyson Animal Vacs are powerful bagless upright vacuums for homes with pets. Air muscle and radio root cyclone technology generates the strongest suction power to powerfully remove dust, dirt, and pet hair from the home or car. To order your Dyson Animal Vac, go to DysonDeals.com. DysonDeals.com to order your Dyson Animal Vac today.
Dyson. Music to your ears.
Having a rough day? Longing for the dog days of summer? Think your fun furry friend lives a dog's life? Well, find out everything you're begging to know as Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with pet expert and award-winning author Liz Palaika, Kate Abbott, and Petra Burke. Every dog has his day, and you'll find out how to make your dog's day fun and rewarding. Every week, on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio, and I'm your host, Jody Miller-Young. We're here today with Ashley Bennett of Pupsaver, the only officially crash-tested car safety seat for dogs. Welcome back, Ash.
Hi, thanks.
Hey, so it's most important, as we know, to have a car seat that we trust and know works when we really need it to, right? But if we can get one that's cute too, well, we're extra happy. And Pupsaver is cute. So tell us about the different fabrics we can choose from.
Right, and thank you for saying so. We really appreciate that. We kind of like to say that the engineers made it safe, and the women in the company made it very pretty. And so, yes, and that's our target demo right there. You know, we have like 90% women buyers, and so we wanted to make fabrics that are, you know, not just pretty to look at, but they're also very soft. They're very luxe. They're plush. The dog loves getting into the car seat. That's the most important thing, really, right there, is that dogs really feel like this is a bed. They love it. They love to get into it, and that makes the whole process easier. And so the Pupsaver, the 3 available colors right now are black and white houndstooth, and that is just a very classic look. It's got a black ballistic nylon back.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And then we've got a leopard with a black ballistic nylon back. That one has a red kind of piping around the edge of it, which we love, and that fabric's very soft. And then we're actually going to be bringing out a brand new luxe fur, lynx fur Pupsaver. It's a faux fur Pupsaver, and that's going to be available. We're going to actually have an exclusive that's going to be on Pet 360. We will have it on our site for the holiday season. Yes. Ooh. And so, and you can go get one right now. We've got a special price on our website. It's going to be up for just a couple more days because, like I said, we're going to have that exclusive with Pet 360. But yeah, you'll be able to get that Pupsaver through them. It's going to be the kind of soft winter. We think it's just perfect for winter, for those little dogs that kind of want to be cozy in the wintertime. It's very soft and it's very warm and pretty.
It is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. Listeners, if you can imagine, first of all, we'll have pictures on the Bark and Swagger page of Pet Life Radio site so you can see what we're talking about. But it is a lush, long, beautiful lynx fur and very, very luxe. And as Ashley said, it's perfect for the holidays. Now, Pupsaver had a very exciting break a few months ago when it was included in a segment on best products from Global Pet Expo, which is like the largest convention for pet products, I think, in the world, or one of them anyway, on the Today Show with Kathy Lee and Hoda. And my little Sophie was the model showing people how easy it is to use. We had so much fun at the NBC studios. How did that appearance affect Pupsaver and the business?
Oh, well, first of all, thank you. You did such a fantastic job that day. You and Sophie were looking great, making our product look great. So it was just an awesome experience. She was great. She did a great job. But that's been an awesome thing. First of all, just to be able to put on our resume that we were on the Today Show with Kathy Lee and Hoda. I mean, not many people can say that. It was just fantastic to be able to put that video on our site. It gets a whole lot of exposure for us. We had a ton of sales that day and in the following days and in the following weeks. And we continue to get a couple pull-through sales from that because, those videos are up online forever. And so we really, we just appreciated that so much. Everyone really did such a great job, and we loved being on the show. I mean, it was
wonderful.
Fantastic. So thank you.
It was so much fun, and it was our pleasure. We're big fans. It's the holidays coming, as we talked about. Yes, and what could be a better gift of love for our pups or a friend's pup than keeping them safe? So take a look and consider buying one for yourself or your friend. You can order at pupsaver.com, or as Ashley said, if the lush lynx suits your fancy, you can get it exclusively on pet360.com. Right, Ashley?
That's right. Exactly right.
Fantastic. Well, I am so sorry to say we're out of time. I love talking to you as always, Ashley. Thanks so much for giving us the straight talk on something so important to the health and safety of our dogs.
Well, thank you so much for having me. We love coming on your show. We'll come back anytime and talk Pupsaver with you, Jody.
We'd love that. Thank you all for listening. And thanks to our producer, Mark Winter, who makes us all sound so good. My passion is fashion. So tune in next time to discover the designers, styles, and home decor I love. And don't forget to visit me at barkandswagger.com, where you'll find great fashion stories and more. So until next time, when fierce fashion calls, bark and swagger.
Let's talk pets every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.